tele fofo pole no tele no no kaye mo ye
sebesin konwane de agokanse mu nsem ebeda mo nsem pi ne yaboaboa no a ye de ebremo ye behwe na wotwi awieye major European leagues no games audo to the reactions eba ye don some eba the club fixture to do Spain El Clasico ehun na be tega Barcelona ko lusu ye ewo Bernabeu hun no akwede ba and somehow do eba Vini Junior on be punish na abraye substitute no de na oje no on be punish no anomo em punish no ni be Manchester United after 3 consecutive games omo winning no say and a reaction or quarantine eso etiebewramo fipro na we fipro players omo eto abadja mo nominations na ba e mani member de nyina ye de beba woni sempi ene ye de bebro wa mo no ne ye behwe afise mo Ghana Premier League matches to Ghana otwa wiye nsama wodo eba ye don sembeba enura ebeto dwa esa the Black Queens game on bebo say do ka ewo bonuses bi $9,500 na mpanyimfo ntua train no nye na base game na nkasoma bo na de ye tete as a sports minister ekowura mu nsam one man ken so enokre na enokra sa na wose panyini kasa na de nti ena sansam na sha eboboba when nsempi ena ye de Abraham nations obetia communications department we ye jaiko NSC we call and the coaches eso ekro denesi wo nations when in sembe breni e be frɛ fisem e de abromidin e de lutakin metram e de ama ABOU DIABY no edodo no kakra obete Habib the special one nka Sasra big brother maestro obete nka Ricardo Varas ono so no dodo no nyankopon nka omo na ompeja omo emaye production team no abrante nas ena edimuntinto oboma biaye kama master planner eboa amiedi dwumadie e de ababe down saso ena Julius Caesar eboa amiedi dwumadie ababe down ko MCR yo akiwo saso na junior eho na cameraman ene eye labi ima ena eboa amiedi dwumadie de abro dwumadie nguso akoso no wo akwanya so betimi do adventure ba say WhatsApp say text message say YouTube TikTok odo message for by asembisa yabeje bre ebeyi ano de ama o contribution idea o view thought to comment and I welcome e will show no so message no obetimi da fa number na desk screen so no o de ba yabe kenkan e de ama oni antena enkwese no num ebebo pounds ma aduana enum 545 and yabe sore be customer du amadwuma de na bana wie ya wo akwanya se obefre na ado adwenche e de abana bibia so ye kama oni antena ye dan ye ba amno ne nsembre e na aso you're breaking it down. Now you're touching it down. Now you're knocking it down. Now you're Turkish Football Federation. A major scandal and a simadea. Uramo Panu Popropa. A Turkish Football Federation. Or down or Panina. Your friend Ibrahim Pacho Etam. Edin Sempia Tuga. Now, Mr. Etam, I said that be referee say what Turkish football. Urama so far betting pa. Omucha bet and will be entrappy. And it was so Pina de DNC. Now, Uni say was Urama out of 571. A referee sir. Urama omia professional leagues running on. Officiating our taking on. 371. rub into betting. Now was 42 individual bet and so far more than me patch 1,000 matches at me atoga our Turkish professional leagues in Ramon says so far more than 42 individual bet and na sa referees no almost all betting account nti games no ekojama kwakodi game na referee na jem wakotwa ene kotoko ebe wini na ebasa watwa kotoko win no dey abonse dubious penalty na wakwaje otim kotwa na Galatasaray Victor Osimhen to score when he says Galatasaray game no penalty bedawa Victor Osimhen ene bebo obonsa no akwaje penalty na Osimhen akobo no de ato atenam obete Fenerbahce to draw obonsa den na wama Fenerbahce wama draw obete Onana to concede dan akwaje penalty etia Trabzonspor na Onana oma body ahye no ya se de todwa wo Turkish football mom me patro major scandal na todwa ama opani Ibrahim Etem woye TFF na Turkish Football Federation omo president no opani semasa ya deso omo open disciplinary proceedings tia normal todwa na wa shabo senarex de Allah also kwatekia majority no nkramofo na osenarex de Allah gaskiya kena ene de pesi epenyasi omo bewram pass total overhauling and omupaya ene omupanya ye na ebasa referees no pass san omo a omotimi asesa omo e some kofa referees free babi and do omo ba ompena san omo nyina so atimi atodwa eno edeba mamenko Jerome Anjeni Boate akoda we say bad no ma ye den edobeka last week mo and me be breaking it down so pani we what the adesade akotum esenka Vincent company oko ba mu nchina coach odom ye adwuma no opesen kobe internship bi opesen kobe coaching trial ebi coach ne na say ba mu nchin adaya wasi aka open ma supporters ni ba mu nchin omu rezi omu abufuo eso mo ntiase da opanyino onye opanyimpa eni kwan eso mo na kwanya ma ni timi ba ebe trial ba mu nchin na report ametse ponyina Jerome Anthony Boateng onu ankasa wa withdraw ni decision esanko peram Vincent company ne nase me patcho ba mu nchin no akwani coaching trial no wajai ni nyina no supporters no eso mo mpene so peso paya ade a eden guase edi oyene eso ebeba team no so entu wajai na ukoroma South Boya ye kana semi osiakai edi ba mu nchin outwa as part of reminder ye kaka ye home opakaya si 2022 find 1.2 million euros ni nyina say violence against the ex-partner Obia one ne wife for one and a partner wa timi ye no ma ensem fatati obano ema wodi for or jitum sa or guilty ema fan 1.2 million euros one sem fata and what chom sa the banners bi bamunchin supporters at the banners bi kwasensen ho so be sempanyin for enrebi na nka bamunchin team no amso nkwamde ne baka medical team no na wa baya adwuma diamo supporters the banner kwaso ntase da wansem fata eno soma nyantom sa no normally nyina akeka ho ena mo panyina ye friend Jerome Boateng ene wasesa ni decision eso no an dad sade koye esen kokko Vincent company ne ho no akwa coaching trial enkwakwa internship kakra eso resign what de enkopiem eno ayaro sabeba maminko juve opaka last week mo Monday say ya and I'm touching it down at the mouth say I got two door or mama ni 2 games. One against Real Madrid, our Champions League game. Second, a Serie A game against Lazio. Sa 2 games no games bi omo diama no se obetimi de asesa bibi se wanya score line better respectable ombetuma pam ampa okwa Real Panabao or Champions League omo kwahye ekome ba kwa wantimi ante obekan sempe enu achi no obepem wo Serie A against Lazio and so Dr. Panier ya de one ekome ba ko wantimi ante reporter passe Juve paying for I got to do omo janukwan omo pamono no omo pamo na hwan ene ebe take over as interim manager omo so paying Massimo Brambilla na Brambilla no Massimo Brambilla uram ewo Juve ono ene wo omo serious under 23 team no ono ene manager for the meantime ono ene be Juve adwuma na rama bia so ye kama na so far they made it for the last rama 2 years ni I go to do wa be the third manager Juve efotimi apamono na ukroma 55 years ni since Juve esaki omu coach as early as October 55 years ni say ya Serie A I say na ya mid season as early as October na yetima pa manager me patro I go to do and Juve ya the last years, 55 years. After and omatuma sansa denbe esi 1969 and ye jamon aso adamao na mami emprekiwe down esa Juve so some better compensation mami omo former manager Thiago Motta na minya adwuma mamam up to now team event Juve omunya ntua Thiago Motta me patro the compensation omunya entua nwie se pasa on I go to do ene me patro mo backroom staff no so mo backroom staff on say opani Thiago Motta omo pam no one ni coaching staff ko I go to do on so ni coaching staff epeko se omo petua omo pay 25 million euros na installment obetua akwasi me patro 2027 eno edeba aye checham so enkwasi se ompenya major coaching job enye Juve epeguso ti omoka basa so open boom in a boka compensation and ukikabuma 25 million euros and omupetua ma bia so aye kama so from 3 managers Juve actually storm omuti asha se elboba ese baku ne penya adwuma no baku ye Luciano Spalletti baku Rafael Paladano na urama Roberto Mancini omu nipa bia omu pem na mom ni nyina no se ebi akwa short term ebi long term na so far say omu he utwa obi ebi se Roberto Mancini ono oye project manager into on all long term na diaba na utwa opani say Luciano Spalletti manita tu no omu se beden so opani we epenya Juve na juma ababaye after we tattoo of a Napoli team no at the atone nsa na obi a we Napoli team tattoo at the atone nsa na Juve ni Napoli omu ni nshawo Italy omu na compete o Serie A watch some part Napoli tawakuma so pass beden so omu di Juve juma epetima mo opani so omra no meye enu reporter metia mi chechamon aso adamana former me patro PSG and France national team coach Laurent Blanc on so diamete as Laurent Blanc intermediary for be our fan adama Juve as we available say Juve for pena on petimi de adwuma no aso man so omra no omeye na bia so enye kama na urama former opanyina woye Juventus president Yvet Giovanni na Mr. Giovanni and Diabetuga was say opanyina bia ye feno me patro Paladino na ye Paladino was say oni experience Juve team no ehia obi o match experience na odi adwuma no adama no obi say Roberto Mancini and come oje adwuma na kanya bad sa na so opanyina Paladino oni experience tom de adwuma no na enya ade ebeboa eno ede tapama so ye breaking it down touching it down na ya knocking it down na Max Allegri so on the press conference I say wakasa was say I'm sorry about I go to na ne nyina no se o se oye excellent good na adwuma we de sa na tem ene ne agu anu ase ekira ne yesa de adwuma no eso agama na Max Allegri kasaye about AC Milan ni team no or the team news kakra bae was say omo pair recover dem say by never Ruben Loftus-Cheek boy no na me powerful chinako obaba back as a trainer say na Christopher Nkunku was say no so mo expect a lot from Nkunku asa no ma ebe kama aso adiama no na enu achi Max Allegri and was system Milan betima improve no ma say agro na biaso aye kama what in some pina tuka efa a team no na emusu breaking on down na was see urama Allegri so far ba Italian referees was see a bit young I say the referees are young and Esanoma P a bad kama na Luka Modric or Bonabaso or Wago Pramanso de Piano Max Allegri Penyanka Luka Modric Jago Pramanso or say a better Atimo Bill so Penatuma or Podma Milan Popo Kono Nania Japa na and watch them Christian Pulisic or Potabem or so on so a better recover not game against Parma on so up Pina Piasso Ayakama Yabisa se Estupina Ason sofa was for Roma game no ayen samo payne aso edi two ga for Milan mo ayati amam ene na Roma timam your friend Inter confirm say Henrik Mkhitaryan na boy no say sofa omo say omo mfamaye ase we pram wonya a muscular injury and Henrik Mkhitaryan aso atima sofa eno sofa Demetia ye chechama uram aso tima your friend Inter Milan omo si sofa enye serious said initially plan by him no mo anticipating ese prana no de plan ehum omo si ensada nyo samami di brana na Kevin De Bruyne aso ekoprae oko Napoli around semapa eno so far fame eno so omo pabe instrumental examinations na omo na bibia so atima Kevin to kopiem Pinata Grande Hospital ho ena De Bruyne ni examination no aso epetoka na bibia so ayekama na me say the right time and atimia toga na yasisa kopa essa long recovery papa better keep 3 to 4 months and said the brana papa atima panemom omo hwe essa after MRI scan and omo pehuno eno ede panama me breaking it down essa Roma so far by never Rasmus Højlund upon atima Napoli of Manchester United were a lone player. Na urama report amete aso enyina no say expectation of all parties involved no say Napoli Manchester United for catch Napoli as a 44 million euros on Petra Betua no pen a permanent player aso adama say Napoli said the Portamanafe on chiso bacha na suntemu dia bom na buy na buy Rasmus Højlund or boy juma wa bo amna ye fe wa hye amna ya kono omo person loan omo ye ne permanent United for so bianwa o chief asem pakodo enti boy no say Napoli the 44 million euros eba on permanent deal aye permanent both teams United Napoli omunya chatum ama biaso atim aye kama enu ye green light aba ye checha mu so adamam e otuma de no so no mama John Tester na urama mpacho US businessman enu ye John Tester ono so de me so urama Premier League team a friend Wolves want to show interest as a person what an impressive offer and yes John Tester there is a Wolves team or person what now so we borrow more Wolves and Wolves and Wolf for as a team is not for sale now Wolves among turn in there omo Anthony China eno edefro eba ye breaking it down aso adamam e wo dwumade no so na mame entouch we as no Ramo current Ruben Amorim man video no na one fan baako United wini asani je omusa ye general manager ba adwuma na nim sedia uhunu kra no afram wa chel United story wo Mr. Jonathan Saki Die Hard United a supporter no Kagawa the finest papa patase on so police departure fearful folk so on so diehard United supporter Kagawa si United United Premier League no na enu rama and Rupina Morim no open training and watching a sampasano na enoutra a promo train or current mami the technical team led by Rupina Morim or energy normal monitano ma na piaso ayekama na Matthias delayed so far we are one of the players says most happy our Manchester United this season now he say Ofilisa were reaching the peak boy I'm a player come so far break last week and I'm the brought was Premier League on Matthias delayed who Premier League me na sunsun nya afa no so ko United na ni chisi obia was say afi adena nya dane afi adena fa afi na United mu player there afi na United supporters mo patem pentem kwane sedie am a bia so ye kama enu eje tapama so a mi church amame Bruno Fernandes and the current attendance and the place United passer munya ni jamu peche sa me patro kenye tamo de enam du tafon mo sino sa kenye tamo de enam du anyon kwanta no mo sino kenye tamo de mudu akoko space an mo sisa munya wina mo pe na mo ya kro the John so sa United for no omo ju omo nipa ama no ma so ekokama edima ma me nwram fifth pro no ma me ensha se e wo ema no ma me ema no so far omo break down no ma me forward no na nwram ema no forward bibia eso eye kama ya dese omo de ema no forward no eso oba eno ena da so no utwa omo name ya dese Michel Ajiman Saso and a patro, Barbara Banda, and a Linda Caicedo, and a Kulai Kellin, and a Artenia, de Castillo, or every Spain, Marta or Brazena, Lesia, Russo, and also an nomination. Now command milk for Dessa, and also my young German milk for this, I turn up Bon Martin, and a patro Gislani, Chibak, and also an nomination Patricia, Gujero, Vicky Lopez, and Kara Walsh, and Ura Elia, Tony, and Alezia Putayes, on Suena Debina, as Suena nomination, now so far Varona, and a dash of brighter bar, and a Urama Carpenter, as Suena nomination, and a Roman Patro Russo, other names, Beno Metapa, and no Edja Paye Judge, Mammy, and Memanon, as so forward, you know, and Meman 5 Pro or more, where players ran a 2 bar, no more you Pro 11, a 5 Pro 11, or a Meman forwards now, a Dembele mosquito ball. Ellen Holland, and you're killing Mbappe, you're like no Messi, and a Kuntunkunim, you're Rafinha, and you're CR7 Misum Kumalewa, and you're the star player Lamini Shama, more Salah, or more any making forts, and on my milk for this, and on a Memanetianon, and a Sura milk for this, or Jude Bellingham, you're Kevin De Bruyne, Luka Modric. Pedri, and your Palmer, and a Joao Neves, and a Freddy Valverde, Vitinha, now overall 26 players, or man nominate Tom Memanon. Say omo epatuapa utre Ashraf Hakimi goalkeeper Donnarumma Alisson Becker na we Courtois na we William Saliba Marquinhos Van Dijk Sasso and Nuno Mendes omunya nomination na opere me patro Luka Modric mo eso down na other names bia akaka Pau Kubasi Sasso a Trent Alexander-Arnold omunya timenya nomination omo ram am bia so ayekama eno Deba, ye church, I'm near breaking it down, not yet touching it down, now you're knocking it down, I'm patron, I'm well porter. And o kopie mum aso pasa o training ground so after air classic defeat no na me pacho okowra mu no the most players already na o madi careful na ofre Hansi Flick any Lamine Yamal and o mu din komo no one Laporta shed din komo per 20 minutes answer and Laporta every ho answer na sasura o reference Flick every ho o wie no ofre Lamine Yamal and one Yamal so kwose ho one Yamal din komo e ma ne che na na jama wie na okono yama so me pacho omo de car perfa Lami Jama kama ono ene deka mu after meeting no with Walla Porter ena yama ekwo kama de piemu de yante eno ede don na owura friend La Porter ono so wie ya okono yi ne phone ena se no oye ko dan kam La Porter eye ko no so yedo nsem eso ede bro e odwuma de no so ensem Peter Bama so yeguso ye breaking no down na ya touching no down na ya jejamu yompo na Lami Jama me pacho wa unfollow Danny Kavaya wa unfollow enua desi ye enua after a classico petroka amiti video ni brown no pai Danny Kavaya bro confront the star by Lami Jama double pass who ye teammate to Spain na we senior player bibim ponia anka okra from privately na nkien team komo enya abonte na obe memasam ne mranto asem enu ntine say Lami Jama bofupa wa on follow no say ura mo IG page boy na ye fe no eye Danny Cover enya desa okwaja one Lami Jama omu follow mo ho enu e de ba ye checha mo na ya breaking it down na ura mo paniwe we streamer your friend Ibai Lenos was say or person or feel responsible after all the controversies by say Lami Jama akro kan sempi or no NNA Lami Jama koye sa interview no Lami Jama anu koyi ne kan ekroka so remodel for there omu stili omu yakromfo omu pewia omu wia no ma sel babonten na omu be complaining sa no ma no na ogiri se ono ene responsible omumfa tabone subono omumfa ni nyina eso emfa emono enu ededawa ye jejama breaking it down na ya touching it down na Spanish Football Federation you see I'm very happy with Lami Jama the piano 10 out of 10 a professor with the national team ntomo jide mapaso bebo tuma am a piaso ayekama omuso omu ye convinced esa the rift between Oni Danny Kavaya and Notina enya de ba affect the national team no no Spanish Football Federation almost some of the babonte ababe tuka ye Jama breaking it down na ya knocking it down na Walla Porter that means so ask Barcelona wa catch Barcelona players no esem kugono munya no me pacho opera ba no omumfa ntomo chi no omumfa na some motivation na omumfa nya adwuma na bibia so enye kam no win games aka na 15 days ago Lami Jama entourage mete some contacted Barcelona set by no store but ni pubic discomfort ekona ha mo ne groin ho no so by no pains eso ho empanyimfo antwa na ma by no ko ti jamete esa Lami Jama so one shada enye fully fit na Barcelona so more optimistic esa goalkeeper Juan Garcia or Pepper Park recovery no and Chano shall say training very soon or Pepper na game against Elche mo jide ma pass betma available na goalkeeper Juan Garcia Papa boy tuma atiama pasa na piaso ayekama na Robert Lewandowski ono so diamete say or medical clearance say obetuma against Elche already were completing the first training section with the team and abra pasa team no asu training and no ediapa na me patcho ma me paid red card in the video no abra card in the buy na pleasant reaction na anu odene ultra video na abram the red card actually Pedro and Opamitima ese public carry for the first time what the red card esu enye na abra omuma red card plus reaction esu ene daswa ye jejama na edama madu plus aso mani ache Rodrigo no on se Pedro ha omupa na me Alonso statistics na yon try the record no kakra Alonso so far PM Madrid 13 games out of 13 games so winning 12 was 30 goals 11 goals conceded and 5 points claimed and what did that so our La Liga and 3 out of 3 and you wins our Champions League Chas Alonso point na damage 7 junior and behavior yes say once son will improve ya say you free ma na all kasa passa summer petimi aton before the contract akra be para we 2027 on bet me atono na mum jamete from Madrid asa ban enya ade se omo ebe punish no eno eso jamete am me checha mu adama ewo dwumadie no so na Madrid for some consider a disciplinary action the Tevin Junior and substituting a reaction on as to them say no punishment bienu epeko ediatia no eno ede ba Madrid say a football and a player who so mo bayana frustration as so my Vini Junior and girlfriend on some of the players days off 3 days and Alonso Diama mom no one girlfriend Virginia Fonseca akopiem Monaco na Saturday meduma saga so o semba any la mi jama betra masa o man conditions Faninsie was a Biatia County Monte Carlo, or Monaco home, and a Vini Cana Cotana, almost to Edge Romania come Pia Kama. Na Ura Mami La Liga, na Ultra so far, La Liga disallow goes up. Na Sa Madrid and a sofa, yet disallow goes pa. La Liga, this is already chat and Toswa, on Sa Madrid goes so far. This year disallow 7 goals, Real Vicano 4 goals, and Oma disallow, and Atletico Madoma disallow 3. Real Sociedad year 2, Levante year 2, Sevilla year 2 na Barcelona asu year 2 no Dawa ye church amana breaking it down asu Adama Marquinhos on so say on percent on purple just one more season na what so baduma at am PSG opeso to so na oye aduma Brazilian was say eba ojiri setime fe no PSG ho ene mo dem na mami emusa Ivan Rakitic on yebusa say between Iniesta any Luka Modric you can say choose super ko jama hwan was say I can choose it's like choosing between mom and dad but Modric and Javi or Modric no acquire them so at the amano no at the tower ye church amom not ya breaking it down so at jamam e wotumade so na me patrol la me jama ya sena no Real Madrid omu local room phrase bako asam bako no mutaika ni nyina no say say thank you Yama. Thank you, Jama. And a blessing some of to you. Now, Mammy ko Asa Kakabe 2 minutes. Nina say Urama me patrol. Asa so far. Yes, almost 66.35%. As some bet to the Premier League for the first time since 2004. Not so far Urama. Arsenal. No ma air kama at the Emma woman. Or my most complete team. Our Premier League this season. Least goals conceded. Least shot on target conceded. Most touches in opponent box, most clean sheet, second most goals, second most goals against, and a second highest pressing. And no, Arsenal, no, just no, my kama, at my Arsenal, and no, at the tower, ye church, I'm near breaking it down. That's what at Dama, ye TV crown, Malik Fofana, also out for several months, and Ukope Olympic Leon, I release it, me patro, Bibidiaba, and no a statement, as a Belgian talent. Was so far way from severe right ankle and when you say Pranon or better than Chai Achakakra and no idea Pamami Brazil na minya juma ewo Brazil kakra nina say uko Brazil Serie C na title final game toga na title final game na toga na between Ponte Preta and me pacho Londrina na game no banner supporters invade pitch omo ekwago pramano so na referee in report ekoma empadin form was substitution board no ebi ayira any asesa odi ba ya say ebi ayira no anchepe an hard time you both supporters and baku kra substitution board and them chrome board na omko game no supporters no etisi good pitch no so no na ebi akọ akwakofa na eno odinam kroma udi agro showers ma substitute you may you free ma change you eno ede dawa ye jejam ya breaking na ya touching it down aso adama mo ewo dwumade no so me pacho royal ya just royal edge force and can say omo recruitment no nani china na mo a omo person omo dem ko na mko adwuma wa approach Omdim Elko Dubai no a beer from 18 years to 40 years. Where a affordable travel opportunity. And when you so bet macro, not wakwa juma eso a Dubai. No beka mo pe a member makuma 100. Na omakwe cleaners our reputable company Dubai salary here with the salary back Ghana boss me operate between 4,000 to 5,000 Ghana cedis and operating to age from between 18 to 40 years how you bema akwanya no so aba almost say ukwa adwuma na ukwa cleaner no ompama baby abeta free ompama medical care wo yare a company no pay free transport ukwa adwuma enye salary bi na ade betwa sika entu ye bema na wote Ghana na adwuma sama ye den o pe Dubai akwa adwuma ukwa cleaning say bianca facha TV o de say obe pra happy pa enu ano no boss me so 4,000 to 5,000 dewa no waje ompama baby abeda upedidi kwa ukwa adwuma obafro ka kwa wo yare ompehwe kwa o de say sika ne siesie sa na fa brother bibia enye kama na omo interview no omo eje enani china 27th and 28th of October and a royal edge for a interview. Now more paper interview mumfan sham so automatically more qualify or more per member 100. Now interview no almost a total our Marshall's University College and Gloryland Hotel and a D and now almost a requirement our so one kasa CV or traveling passport. Now interested parties who bet my friend numbers I mean to game be 0256 450602 055295 7431 and that's 0244 759 260 and 0248 55 1942 and 0243 778486 and the royal act for a back on tonsem omudu petufa omu dimpa track record ne ye omu fo bian to kwama nkwa stranded da omu dimpa track record ne ye omu fo bian to kwama nkwa stranded da omu fo bian to kwasom komana adwuma akoya wanya adwuma ansana opefiri akono na nhihye no nyina didam kama and the royal edge omadaroma and we dam no nsema odo epedam ye da ye ho ba abadwafo besi nkonya nsema akanyina no ye dim pense mu bre no ato aso ediama
fọ̀fọ̀. Polo ni wọ́n tilẹ̀ yànyàn. Káyé bòbó yé yé.
United will definitely bounce back to its glory days. Greetings to Amono Bridget, Amponsa Christabel, and password 3 as 4 student and St. Paul's SHS Kwa Asakraka. Filippo Kwabri Kasamon was say glory Man United and better luck next time. To Kumasa Santiko Toko Fabulous, still the best. Greetings to my daughter Frimpo Manson Echa Felix and my mother Auntie Mary of Geniso Filippo and a dear Bahas tag Fakye Sports. Kobe Steve was I'm watching live from Babiani Town of Somovim. Greetings to all United family around the globe. United for more Kebijimo Samba. Richard, what a good afternoon. You people are doing good job. Nedia Odiaba and where Tijani, good evening, Fakye Sports. Lutak in the Lord of Foreign Sports. Real Madrid really made my day streaming live from Amantimbunu East. Greetings to #1 manager in town, Kofi Lampard, and the whole Amanti United FC boys inside Crack Nation Barbering Salon. Crack Nation, Nagobo Sampa Lampard said, yeah, say any coaching course in Benyabaso. Akokere Junior Tero was watching live from Akokere and Shadizi Wisely or Denedia Abba. Na Shadizi, dear any good afternoon. I'm Shadizi Wisely watching live at Bonsun Kwanta in the Western North region. Please update me on Chelsea. Sasuna Kofi Ajman Blackman. Oh dear no ya kind data. Nana Amwa Junior Isaac. Good afternoon, Fakye Sports. I'm I from Dunkwa Mfum. Watching the show live inside Righteous Way Aluminium and Glass Work. I don't miss Fakye Sports in just a day. Basso, no, the fire emojis, no. Dear Kuma Backman. Kuma Backman is out streaming live from Tamale. No, Asa Benz. Good afternoon, Fakye Sports. I'm watching live from Edunkwa on Ofen. Greetings to all. Amazing Dancers Academy. Or NOD free by Osikaba couple. Good afternoon, Fakye Sports. You do all Good, you do all. Good job. Keep it up. I'm watching live from Kuwait. Fakye Sports, papa. Yeah, that's no sikaba. And a Benji in fancy we are. Benji in fancy was out of folk competing so far. Indeed, we have played one of our toughest match. Greetings to Honorable Wisdom. Osebuama MCE. Atwuma Nwabiaja South. Okumkom. Nedia Ode Aba Eso Enona. Piaga, we have missed jogging club. Na mepa so matese club kra no obetuma siamba back obetuma siamba we rich junior Amoru must go piaga congratulations Salam Madrid and a slot must go watching live from Achim Asafo ne dia ode aba eso enono na we ne dia ode aba Desmond Nkua also do I don't support Lamin's attitude of the pitch sometimes. But for this comment, I see no wrong with it. Have they forgotten what their goalkeeper said? But Kavaya was on the pitch. I'll say, but for Kavaya was on the pitch, right? Place to address a situation like this. So childish. This means that Lamin is their nightmare, and they even give him much attention on social media. We beat you 5 times last season with 2 trophies, and you are celebrating a 2-1 victory as you won treble, as if you won treble. Vinny Jr. reaction after substitute must be a subject for discussion. So indisciplined. Congratulations to Madrid for their victory yesterday. Anyway, Desmond Nkua, and it is our message we also at the Abba. A lot of them and Abba. We every Oselo Fakye Sports Yama talks too much. Sefa Edifratonsu and Sefa Eso Ediaba. Hello Fakye Sports, I'm Kobe Palance watching you from half Ridium. Fakye Sports all the way. Kobe dia also Ediaba and away so mepa so a lot of them are repam message Efro Diama. Habib the special one. And a special good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Bokodia.
Alhamdulillah. How do you so here?
Nyamiadum. And Yaba?
Yaba.
Yaba,
eating Cassan and Cordia, Sudan, Media.
Kokunyan, Kobaba Beke, Honenso, cold in Hano, and a minimum class in speed recovery. Let me be said the word in a catch a mark of Fadia Yemfa.
I know you're there, no.
Because nam se could national sin in the minimum so no many idea. Nam say be akoye anubom kovicha.
I know you're there.
Tafriski.
I know the okay attempts na Kenya mbe no amtiase. Sir. Kuntimi nchire mu ha.
Akisi ni nuaba na ba. Enti kwakushe ne nchen.
Ono akini nuaba. No da so ka discussion no.
Why ni nuan why na fi wo?
Me busa asem keke. Me de say me busa fo.
Mate. Maestro boko de.
Busa.
Oh, right, Yankopon adom.
Weekends na no what say.
Oh, niama koso kama.
De nyame ase.
Koso kama.
Juve coach ko ense me classic so nya radio bi.
Oh, we hebi na menje Zabi Alonso ndi, but enwa me jinedi.
Wa jinedi.
Oh, ma jinedi.
But that's me ba so. Kwaku.
Okay.
Wani ati o atimi aba.
Okay, it has a good style. But it was a hard weekend too, but still, you are welcome. Sometimes you need people who are very good around you.
Yeah.
In such a situations, but the way we are, I've seen a lot of messages on Facebook, a lot of messages on WhatsApp, but we are fine.
Happy Mama shall say through Mama the next 13-15 minutes. Family.
When the entire show for now, yes, I'm in our cover beautiful brand new weekend. Yes, I'm not Yamena or the Ashana watch for frost and now choose to create the month of October. Yamena and Cassan Kayan on my home by own free sunny Musu, any amani, Mutuan free a conscious home. Na the idea is have some be an engine shira. Also, in corner we are some Jimana, but some for a business November. I mean, shall say some Jimana, Nishan and Yaka say so. Penny, you come quick. Now, over the weekend, a lot of games and a bar, so I had the Baby Classic couldn't come, but I'm in common as for free England. Now, we can now ban a year in the Premier League. Teams Nibia winning, teams Nibia about draw, a bit more loose. Now, after match day 9, so league table now, Arsenal A lead, your very own Arsenal.
Yeah.
More league table now with 22 points plus 13. Bournemouth 18 points. Spurs at the third position with 17. Sunderland fourth position with 17. And then Manchester United and Man City same points, but goals difference in team. And Man City at the fifth with 16 plus 10. And Manchester United on the sixth with 16 plus of 1. Oh, you see, Liverpool, Chelsea, Aston Villa, these are all teams are now your folks and at the moment ahead of club Manchester United. They are all below team Manchester United. Maybe I be doing come on now. The next picture as a production so I'm saying how to stay humble after winning as a Manchester United. When they saying, oh for baby general manager Mr. Fakye and then a Manchester baby this is how they are behaving. They want to read this book and stay humble because what tete or match what tata or match and they never koye the club Manchester United. How do they stay humble? Sir, by ya Obia or Tete Manchester United or Monko Hanibi. And somehow more can they farm on Monka San 70 Binfanjim because teams Nibi or Wa or Mushi. I say the Manchester United I'll go through season, but nobody is talking about them. Manchester. So now they've won 3 games in a row. And almost say they want to read this book and stay humble after winning. But Commander, the Manchester, you know, I have very interesting this. And when you look at club Manchester United, Macau had last week in a saying. So far, about 9 games. United came back top 4. Now, points is separated on even Manchester City. The same points, but they goals and they separated. Or more points is separated clubs are more top 4. Just 1 point and they separated. But the certain and also the most important thing is that United are among the big teams. We are just 9 games into the season. Manchester United are about Liverpool. Manchester United are about Chelsea. They've played against us. So it tells you the big teams are Manchester United are in this period. Senka ABOU teams ni biaka ye ball mabaso jijom so munyi we fish will get there. Ye ball mabaso ejijom so senka common about these big teams are probably and the discussion is different from positioner omoda. But upon Zani Yamani United are fine no self say omu kwachire. They've understood struggles are not they want to redeem themselves and come back from Seychelles now. I think that they deserve every praise. Baby, Omujina Sisi and United Yeshi on J Trophy or Medal League in this row or Ma Emedru stage Obetimia Bonabaso. But I think and I believe perfectly that where they stand right now, they deserve a bit of commendation. Time and nan Yamanko, you know, the same energy now. Yeah, they bought Manchester and some now you can't. And the farm manager friend said Ruben Amorim will Gina House is say Commander said, "Yeah, man, sir, Abbas." Well, now the picture on my really edited to screen is on. They say, "Well, we need 3 consecutive games." Post Alex Ferguson, open managers are on about 3 matches. So we team winning number of times. So we team got 3 wins at the twice. Now, Papaya or Dasro first, David Moyes. The coaching time with the Manchester here only on 2 occasions. And the team had 3 successive wins. So we need 3.
And also your achievement by United.
Since I want to say Amorim, Gina.
Winning 3 matches
in a row. David Moyes said that on 2 occasions. The next manager, 12 on 3 different occasions. Jose Mourinho and the most times. That on 8 different occasions.
Okay.
So we need 3 times in a bounce and now 3 more. On 8 different occasions. However, only gonna associate who does that 6 occasions. Eric Ten Hag and 7. Afraid now we're starting it here. Manchester one said this is first of many to come. And they have that strong belief in it. Said, Amorim, the way was here finding the team rhythm. And then more than one or more Siciliano. Manchester get it back on track. Now, the first picture now, we didn't get it back because Munyin Fusion, the Ama Manchester and common ahead and say, Commander, don't say we are so. Say, near me, Koye, the Mao, now enemies, Brad. And I'm our enjoyment in the course.
Okay.
Clubs and Combeha Manchester United, when it comes to top 4 race, and also who push the account, we weekend with their 2 million. Manchester United and Asher Brighton, 4-2. These are 3 teams are on a good day. So United United will pray and hope that results enkoyem for mom. Say they will be able to overtake them and push forward to top 4 on this row. Chelsea tonight, Sunderland ko say 2-1. Liverpool na kwa jene there 3-2 against Brentford. Manchester City ko away. Aston Villa say 1-0. The 3 big teams are omunyina on any day. Omu a subject of discussion when it comes to top 4 conversation. Since our teams now in progress, Manchester United getting momentum. No, United pushes themselves to top 4 discussion. So Manchester
Arsenal pay.
And yeah, the Manchester one say they believe that year first run, United will find themselves in the proper position. Probably they will be in the discussion for teams who makes me competing for the league title because they say Arsenal, Manchester City and Liverpool, they are 4 in the bounce in the Premier League. And
I thought you wouldn't the answer yet.
Commander, that even that time, never pay and slot the answers number one. But then they mean didn't come probably be a more mark and we didn't come there, but mean the slot and come. And I think that a mobile break, say and Manchester and one thing, I've watched Manchester over and over and over this season. Watching them weekend win, I told myself one thing. The last time I can't goalkeeper who from now Abedapun, Senny Le Mans, a Juma or ye at the moment. Me Taysan Kofobe, a can some far, Kunya, who say, on say go dear. But the modern ball ordinary for Manchester United. He is one player because goals never in into. I was subordinate who deserve Unyai over the weekend. Unya go at the boy Manchester and will be a watcher Manchester matches. Sees we be dear dances. Matthias Cunha, aside injury, or missing some of the games. No, every game Cunha, Jinama body Manchester United. What he is that player on any day, even if unsure. The total contribution in the game, the work output, put your game. Ebuama club echo my name aside one Brian Mbuemo. The reason Manchester United paid huge sums of money Ekofa Mbuemo buy Commander kakran. The boys are showing signs of positivity. The same system, but with a different approach, different ideology, any different mentality. Now Manchester United are starting to gather results kakra. Any days say but I am doing this because time and the same energy channel at the core. So I start to say, Amorima, he deserves praises. Be out say, yeah, the man said you original house see any league table will be order and more than what all but so somebody say yeah, to so probably Andrew December say yeah, cross the capital January. United probably will come into the league discussion. And I did a war when they say among the top teams no be competing, will be our European assignment. Manchester United pay and then the European assignment. Don't forget that even the Carabao Cup, Manchester are out. It's United bet me in the focus and in the concentration, at the Cup Premier League. If these players are going to stay on form, now omit me commit to more idea about how AFCON in December, everybody be Brian Mbuemo and then Amad Diallo. A free team and the form ne kuta Brian Mbuemo. So miss out for about a month in the Manchester United setup. Depending on level Cameroon national team maybe drew out AFCON. I say depending on level Ivory Coast maybe drew for Amad Diallo. I think that say Omomi no absent. So coach need to make daily with that perfectly. Manchester United will be a team to watch out this season. Moving from Manchester United for AFC Bournemouth. Makanwa every day bebo match we biano Bournemouth for say Bournemouth so. The 2 or more transfer in the league table now Bournemouth 8 places second after 9 games. But say we lose 5 players our back line, including the goalkeeper and the 4 defenders. Yes, now ordinary. Key actors of last season, Sasa FC Bournemouth in and not this season. You're about 9 games into the season. We're winning as many as 5 matches and we're losing to Adro Tour. I think that Andoni Iola is also doing a very fine job for club and friends of Bournemouth for LC Bonabaso. Mahamo Arsenal for Abasua. In the month of October, 5 matches in all competitions. Arsenal conceded goal. Winning. Gary Neville can send me the family Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal team, and I cannot agree more than Asemna opinion. I can say, so where Arsenal need, even if on your Arsenal need now thing change. So true to yourself. We all perceive Arsenal winning something. Unless you don't want to
for the first time since 2004, Arsenal winning Bibiana.
I just person over kind of crash but over kind of crash forget of a club I was support to. We all perceive Arsenal winning something. We can smell that coming. And now Gary Neville catcher say, this is your title. Arsenal have never really felt that sure before. It's so early in the season, but it's really that's not being overconfident. On placing pressure, they must feel it themselves. This is the moment Arsenal can get back on top. The chance is there for them. They have to take it. Arsenal chance in you.
But now, almost just 6.35% say Umbetime winning Premier League.
No, they cannot afford to lose it. You see, a good team, a teamer, so one shall unconceded.
Okay.
And Arsenal, they are not conceding. Even time and Yemamu Wire, Crystal Palace, one teamer. because of how good they've been recently in team. Amokobo against Arsenal, most of the bookmakers pundits said Arsenal will struggle to get results over them. Arteta went into the game, known very well, say approach now, Palace one day ban a difficult, intimidating, but he managed to get at least one goal. The most important thing is to get the 3 points. Whichever way you get it, being it ugly and as a beautiful way, encounter and watching it 3 points. There are points who are Mourinho because in the season, those points they say winya and then the Chelsea trophy no obey home. And then there are points now Arsenal for fine. One of those points are Ogia. It can be beach say you are getting closer. They just have to stay focused, have the self-belief and the confidence within a dressing room. Say, I'm arriving. This is their time. I'm okay and I think that Arsenal perfectly have what it takes to win something this season, be in the Premier League or the Champions League. I don't want to talk about FA Cup, but it's not Arsenal achievement. They should either win the Premier League or the Champions League, and they have what it takes to compete and compete very well. So the near Arsenal stand a chance of winning.
That set piece star now with the room Arsenal.
Of course, now the Premier League, the data available in the Premier League, even is telling us. I mean, him say production. I think I didn't bring that one, but I mean, we saw about 19% of goals scored this season in the Premier League from set pieces. I think about 42
from corner.
Yes, 42
45 from 240 something
yes.
goals.
Clearly tells us that clubs no are taking clue from Sudden and who probably one master say Jumane in the Premier League. I think Arsenal comes ahead of any team. I think that Chelsea for also ABOU now they're also getting close. I think they've also scored about 4 or 6 goals from set pieces.
Tottenham's weekend we so from set pieces.
You see, Tottenham for no. Mon-FRI start you see
Thomas Frank
away games Juma or 5 matches away. We're winning as many as 4. And ending the draw against Brighton. They are on the road. Or Man City. Was West Ham and our board road to Brighton. Was Leeds and Endra or the Everton for us. So 3 unanswered goals. And on so yes, Edman Kama Club. Tottenham. I think he also deserves some sort of commendation. Fena, Tottenham, the first season, he's a manager who has been in the Premier League before, but in the first season at Tottenham Hotspur, Jumana Oyen also deserve a but the time no say I can't the Classico.
Now 3-4 minutes.
Okay, fine. Commander Classico never. So I sat here on Saturday and I said, dead noise and yama and then nam Classico near Lami Yama this Lami Yama that never park or Cassie, never park or Cassie. Real Madrid the 4 will be a moment in there or parking also.
Okay.
And in Nipa, some are ready for a bus would be or some of the man or match in left back. Alvaro Carreras, a Juma Quadani Yen and Rano. He came into the party, known very well. So I would jai Lami Yama. Not only turn from Roberto, I want 10 times, but Oye Jumana, your best kind of crowd here. That's so before more. So deal with that. So boy we have Baswa. The next player saw Bonabas in the Real Madrid team, Vinicius Junior. 72 minutes are Real Madrid, Vinicius AD were parking. So you understand the frustration. The entire OP and I don't support that. But everybody who watched the game, now a student of the game, you understand how teamwork. Ebuama club in your resource. Go and watch how you are supporting this boy.
Saturday, no maybe a story be said was so admit said last season. Games so lose in a classic no. Na budget we say on Mbappe.
They have a role to play.
But everyone has a confidence level was too much.
At a point in time, I heard the commentator saying, they are playing with confidence. That time, the commentator said, he clearly could see the matter of one with confidence, and they want to do something. Vinicius Junior covered up for this guy. Anytime, and say, what the Barcelona assistant coach and runner or team in China seminar buyer or say, born normal boy on no account, and Lami Yama, Enyan, who say, oh, yeah, Juma. In every situation, a 2v1. It's difficult. Until at a point in time, now I drop here, but centrally, it will create as either the number 9 or sorry, the number 8 or number 10. Sometimes I have 8, I have 10, and or because or call wings now, flanks will be anywhere, Quinda Edeman. And tactically, Xabi Alonso did extremely well in mapping up a strategy to stop Aquada. Your friend said, Lami Yama. Real Madrid, in terms of possession, Barca Bobo and Chomo. But in terms of chances creation, will be about shot on target more. You create chances to do. Your opposition box in order to do. Those things are a warmer club in your results. Meaning Madrid and a year. I've heard Mohamed Abutrika saying, say, well, Jim Madrid for who I said, Barcelona for the young Madrid should score line here by 4-5. It is true. Yeah. They created the best of chances, got the upper hand when it comes to goal scoring moment. I know some comedy Barcelona, but they were not too clinical. To some extent, Barca highline and so on because they scored about 2 goals and then VAR ruling it out. Yeah, but Madrid team now. So for Vinicius, any manager Nadia, and right game I saw and Yemami, you know, Oram, you know, we need to study Xabi Alonso Orano. Time Vinicius AP, you know. Not all shout, why me? Why always me?
Me.
And yeah,
I will leave the team. I will leave the team.
Look at the aura of Xabi Alonso. Cameras and then maybe Bia was on him. Vinicius air to turn inside de Casa. How is the manager going to respond? And what that scene? Look at him. Nothing has happened. Let's concentrate and finish the job. You are not the only player. You've done your part. I am the boss. I take decision. A backfire, blame me for that. Yeah. I'm backfire. I take the glory. Let's concentrate. Kotanasi. He walked straight into the dressing room. One can he realized that you're here and seven for so last week, story said season with Vinicius are controlling emotions and how our supporters are provoking in the other. So I was surprised what he did yesterday. Yes. Inside report to catch there say or say he wanted to die more for the club, but as a leader in a team, third captain, then say or responded better. Until no other quack or
defensively.
Yes,
no one very
at the point break 72 minutes to running Kwabasa. He needed something different in the team. Aside Alonso Oran, the next aura and Saudi and players. Mushebu said that in big moment, only opponents when you score against them, a goal that can win your game. Go with the Jude Bellingham aura. What shows that Washigo and Antiakon? This is attitude. In big games, big players, this is what you are supposed to do. Washigo on Amos and the winning goal, but he is just walking majestically like a king who is stepping out. He plays against Barcelona and we're comfortable. As last season, the injuries hand. The first season, in the both legs, he dealt with Barcelona. And then he came into the party, did a perfect job for Real Madrid, provided an assist. Look at assist. How are Odomi Tene Pedri before he laid that pass to Kylian Mbappe, Odinya go. Then obviously the winning goal. And he decided to say, he give us this aura. Say, calm it down. We no proceed. Talk is cheap. And I have to study this. Saying I'm a footballer. In big games, when I score, this is the aura I'll leave at the stadium. But for Kylian Mbappe, it took Ronaldo over 30-something games before he scored 20 goals. Ronaldo knew be a same more goals. But the Barcelona in the 21st century, 20 goals. This boy, just 9 games, I said 12 goals. He played against Barcelona for fun.
Mate, Habib, the special one out and kind of say, why justice to this particular weekend game say to in some out be CC and Wama a day Kakraswa bro. But Varas one of Varas in room Kakra Ricardo. How trivia games been by.
Of course. Social Liverpool coach and friend of Slaughter. Gradually. He is trying to let us know that he is incompetent when it comes to solving issues at Liverpool. Because you don't come to a press conference where and so forth, and you are trying to let people know your weakness. Your team know them out team your show, talking about set pieces and other things. The best thing that you can do as a coach after a team, a core series of games that they are yet to win a game, the best thing you can do is find antidotes to those problems, and make sure say Liverpool get it back to where they belong. If you don't do that, you don't come and sit in a presser and be telling your next opponent and say this is what weakness are. So to me, and so they can win against you. I just don't understand. And it seems them say pimpa. And it's the more reason why I think just one done no man in 10 tema. Now the Premier League is over. 9 games per and they are bought in the Premier League. But the Premier League is over. Because we've seen teams defending champions they never came back to win the league. You talk of Manchester City last season, you talk of Leicester City almost season, and Liverpool is doing the same thing. So say Premier League, it's over for team and Liverpool. Pay the SEC pay. So if Obibi Obetimaya, now everything is about making sure that the team now is getting to the shape that we felt to say last season, winning games and making sure that games will not be that day. But if you can't give us that solutions, you just don't come out and be telling your opponent, say, these are our weaknesses and so what you are going to get us. No, you don't do that. I think say he needs to find antidote to it. One man for and too much. Now, Obi Biara Watina Baby, Edin in common say the league he won was as a result of a properly laid foundation by Yajan Club. No, on one can say it can the tune for phone and some of Yes. On one can say it can the total because after a single signing, which is a Chiesa. Now, now you are able to get your own players, your own materials, your own system, everything. The money he spent,
Alexander Isak, Florent Vert,
and
you
can make good use of them. So we to was league and slot DIABY, a system not fast in a club system. Looking at the results of Luankasa after he brought in the players that he feels they fit into the system, they can give him whatever he needs. I think they won one Gasano.
Metete club a team, say, Pediamet and say Liverpool, owners of Panyfono, still almost support a slot. But some to us will do December January results and improve. Umbet to say a beyond me the club as Baba.
If Klopp was able to come back there, because we can say on field football now, no way in the first no. That or call training grounds here and on field football. But they will give him a juicy deal until they have a back there. But second comings, then they are so if Omo probably say we've seen some of their former players doing a year. And you know him say Gerrard is someone that
England
but that is what you know Chelsea with Frank Lampard. And Jamie Liverpool can trust him. By far Rangers.
Rooney
was your pan so it is yes, one of the any level. And Jamie Liverpool they bet me afa. Players you win BBI. We never have a Fakye club there, so I know the edge. If then they were but slot there, if nothing changes, no improvement and Manasian Beko with the money I was spending there on one casa airborne and nasty too. And when we are all man penny for any option than to get him off because a Jumana or any day. So what would you now Liverpool team now? Say, we Liverpool for
admit say unacceptable.
Who said that who will be on the fat no fixing problem. Pay do one can say
I was say answers no munya.
And there's something that says sanity there. If Oka pim, now you are trying to let car owner no say who need and do that. No person nyansa enkoye car nyansa fa ma biem. Dabi nti one can say na untimi dan na nyomani. Said the league ni si kono. 9 games. Say ba oh yeah, Nyoma. Now you want to know how I know sample size is with 9 games I am in the Premier League. But currently, as we speak, the Premier League is Arsenal to lose. May I predicted Arsenal winning the league right from the onset. Yeah. Because looking at how another Matitiano, when Joe Carras are no above or Bob Crummy and share down who ye. So she goes so say we share them Arsenal. But I still believe and I still maintain that Arsenal is going to win the league. And if you look at how Musi Yomina say na special one they are not conceding goals. And in Kakra they are scoring goals. Ken, they are doing it without our most trusted and creative player on the field of play, Martin Odegaard.
Kai Havertz,
Madio Kenyo. And these are players that when they are added to the Arsenal setup, they are going to improve the creativity. So if they are not conceding goals and they are scoring without these players, that's a creativity never costs. What are you going to expect from us?
Because I heard the center pair of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba.
As so said,
Bakuni Okrana, Sir Christian was scared and almost signed in the buy, you know. A perfect replacement.
Yes, and to let you know, may say Arteta is a defensive-minded coach, though his work under coaches are offensive-minded. But no, we're defensive-minded. This Arsenal now prioritize it, not conceding more than scoring. So now when he is okay with not conceding and he wants to attack and score, that is where Arsenal they know AI. So I think that now maybe Arsenal now and looking at how no make sense with Liverpool. Say the teams are G Premier League now. Omulusu matches twice so to say the Liverpool, you know, they don't come back to win the league. And if that is to go by, Liverpool, they are out of the title race. So other Manchester City are teams that almost struggle. The Manchester City show team that probably they are doing well. No, Manchester City can't win against them.
Me Pep, ne tactics in Essa, and I get because we recruitment or yes, one of the finest signings for you.
And yet tactics in Essa. Premier League.
Sir,
that is the nature of the Premier League. You enjoy your monopoly. You enjoy your tactics to the level that you are enjoying. People will sit down, calculate how to bring you down, and that is exactly what probably L2 refer Pep Guardiola. Antonio Conte be for Chelsea no. Obo Arsenal was my go back to my favorite 3-back system. He went on a winning spree. Best 6 games cannot team consider go. Netisi in channel. We also want your mate see and so it me ever so ebina ato eyo ref and Pep Guardiola. You see Moino 2 game the same thing. No enjoy, but the do maybe also the career now. And ebia ne be na to Pep. Say season we am cause they say siko na see in chance the last season see in channel dia. E ho na ebia e make me say am pay me say the more den and so it. But for now, I'll still give him the benefit of the doubt. Say he can do something. Nchewe the way Roman ends Fako. But so sure no Manchester City no more namu, Chelsea no more namu because Chelsea are clearly say no is to make sure say one of games they are going to win for you and other things. But in terms of consistent performance, you won't see Chelsea giving that performance because Sunderland for natural some more hard win. But if you look at the goal they considered to lose that game, it should tell you that some of the Chelsea defenders they lack experience and a basic understanding of defending. How on earth now 2 players will be glued to one person, no be flexion, no be finishing. So Sandomana teams in there, you know, and they ask them to see another because what? Omo di ask them, you know, Ben Mofin say, more per point in the goal. Second round, no, probably they will be giving us this performance. Spare out. So what I say, so say any gap na Arsenal de mana. The Premier League is there to lose, though. Look at this. How can a Premier League defenders
one of the laziest defensive approach among Chaloba and Thorson at the normal.
Chelsea clearly inconsistent with performance from this angle. How do we even do this? And then you have finished. Not Chelsea lose. So I think that Arsenal born home day and never matter at the Flowers. Media medical Akaso ne beti Miyaji League in that. So the things they are doing, I think say me appreciate two more and everything that they are doing there. Mami Ramwo. My own Juventus. I can't even sit here and say I won't talk about my own Juventus. Yes, sir. But Ken, the Tiana say, two do I want to watch it? No, the Quancrassy and manage man twice to this time of the season. May from day one.
Last season of Juve because the problem Juve position in your the very authority team. No,
that is the mistake that we do. Ken. Say obishi say adwuma to wona obetwa so a bia nipa no ba ko menu bi na onye ni yie enti na obaye unya resource ntentema bibie koyie enzo timi de ma. We've seen a slot the way we've seen the Matthew AG Champions League with Chelsea something now munye bi da ojiwe ye hude ko si ye. We've seen coaches omoba in the middle of a season that of my year adwuma we the adwuma strong to muntimi ye and the same thing man we adwuma obeye ye. How can you tell me say that 8 games na ekoi na we check the team that we played against? Check the number of signings I hear. We have strikers now no so on striker. Vlahovic was someone that he was put out on sale.
Yes.
And Yakofa Jonathan David Abba and Yafa Penda Abba. Some players are not able to give results and we need to rely on players here to give us the goals. Sometimes it's even out of ideas on how this fight team. But the way we give to Snake we have shied away from our identity, and the more reason why we are suffering. So we'll be say
Thierry Kansas, and I think last week so.
Yes,
say Juve, no identity, no philosophy.
Yeah, 5 home. And I dear Bassa and hot children and no be any Bassa, whatever they rely on was their farmhouse, which is La Masia. And then Omu decided they would bring in players and it gave them nothing. But since they went back to do that same thing. We've seen the players available in their team, but we're feeling how they are giving to team FN in Barcelona. The same thing. But a mistake in starting free year. But a mistake in starting free year was the appointment of Mauricio Sarri and Pello. These two coaches are coaches that they think say, that is how they are going to go about it. But yet, we need a defensive-minded coach, regardless how you see football transforming or whatever. There are some things you don't change in your team. And don't think be seen there. Oko Benfica or Mabuaneba, Oko West Ham, Sao Bobos as they know, and no else to me. But that is football. There are identities in a team that you don't change. And since they change here, coaches are we feel say these coaches are offensive-minded coaches. No, we've seen that they are to see what Antonio Conte did. See what Oref and Allegri did with Team FN Juventus. But Pello by we saw Pello, we saw Sarri, and we went on to Thiago Motta and now to Tudo. And we've seen what has happened to Team FN Juventus. The earlier we are able to sit down and know how an the best for us. Now we've resorted to the U23 coach on MFI, and then we are thinking of Spalletti. Now I just need to accept to say no man is sinitrasi, and because we're sinitrasi, sir, because we think no, that means we want to change things. And if that is how we are going to do it, let's say you each coaches know. Merry go round now. We corner we have a share, we corner we have a share. No be any more, and no of course would Juventus. So Juventus the identity near here and see who and a boy I get here back to the way I be call. Kakrebu on El Clasico. Lamine Yamal is won't follow Kawaya.
Yes.
The best in the colony.
Ade.
Kawaya, one of the captains, was Spain. And Lamine Yamal is a young guy coming up. The orientation, everything is different. So can't some next summer before we've won the game. But yes, sure say we need any contact to between Lamine Yamal and Dinkomo. Or avenues to between Lamine Yamal and Dinkomo. And your park national you show that to the whole world say, okay, watch it in tea. Oh, Chilebi Biao.
It's not Frankie Dion Yagin. Said Uncle say per said Danny a senior. Jama friend senior, and or friend private. Of we Yabobo we celebrate your win. For celebrating win we are the best thing we can do. Or friend Koko on that same thing because when your teammate think away Kawaya free equal and Lamine Yamal free Spain. I mean, can you problem? But we now me Spain for more national camp near the other. Oh, avenues that you can talk to the boy. We've seen El Clasicos near them talk about between Real Madrid and Barcelona players. When Casillas was the captain, they sat down at the point in time failed to say, Sardine Kosovo El Clasico some way, somehow, affected Spanish national team. They sat down and they resolved issues. That is what seniors But the Spanish Football Federation we know or affected national team. And now I hope no. For somebody to say, me no one issue on the field, my comment social media, my own follow. That should tell you, say, it's something that you see. That is it. Because we follow one of feed, so I like you, so one like you. Say, Vinicius Junior and Lamine Yamal, yes, I didn't know. Say, other national beer, then ya, Metiasie, but for Kawaya, someone that was yes captain, and that's one of the captains that was Spain national team. Nah, it's a no for me. Call him to a private discussion and talk to him. That is how it's supposed to be. Lamine Yamal is Vini Junior and Rafinha.
Vini Junior and Rafinha. I don't know what really happened between them, if it was confrontations or whatever. But we've seen Rafinha, a mobile game that Vinicius Ekudi Kada, he restricted him. One team. But he feels that that material time, a national team is going to affect the national team. So they restricted about Vinicius Junior. So if the boy is doing something in the long run, it's going to affect the Spanish team. What do? Call him to order privately. That is something that we need to do. I'm happy for Jude Bellingham, what he's been through, and then what formula. I'm happy he's now back and deciding games. The first season, a ball game. And the winning goes a core El Clasico now on a share. And yesterday he had that one. I like the way Noma N2C yesterday, tactics and everything worked perfectly for Team FN Real Madrid. But at the end say I got to connect her to Kruma.
Ade.
Se has nya kotokomo betimi ahye betimi nane ne papa.
Ma kotokomo mu nya hasa.
No mo do di agora sa na ye Barcelona na Real Madrid. Senka because enura no. The reason why Barca for still Oma no dey near sa dey no because yesterday Oma mo hwe for Lamine Yamal say we lose possession 8 times in a game. 10 times see. They were their lowest and Real Madrid 2-1 pay. Why giving no more than this and not Mukasa?
Me penalty ni na no ma ba so.
One more Mukasa.
Me da say Ricardo Barros na hotel kan ba twa kwanya bi aba se company bia sebe reputable pa was up experience marketers na ye adwuma. Enti we marketer be na office wo 2 to 5 years experience. Media marketing mu a be pa chobra for full-time employment. We nye na be full-time employment. Omo pe so 2 to 5 years experience. Media marketing mu a either TV or radio. And one say me be ma baby a we do application be fa na fa CV eso fa o farmer wo mo. And one say we do CV no application letter be fa kobij@gmail.com and also be free. Kobij no ye KYOUBIJAY@gmail.com and I be free 0266 303 733 0266 303 733 and 0244 602667 0244 60 2667 ofra so if you saw experience our media marketing more per marketers and no more adwuma our application CV form na kwanya full time employment na be nyaka maestro
Right.
young Roma
Mami Remo Liverpool na me one of the few guys and I be believing in a slot. It doesn't right now me believing no. I still believe what he can do for Liverpool Football Club. To the extent say Jurgen Klopp last season moving from Liverpool after a long period of years and then Omunya that kind of momentum they say they will need a Dutch manager who will come to succeed a German manager. That clearly shows Liverpool Football Club and how they actually transform by the Jurgen Klopp at the time I know as a coach. They have some sort of similarities. Checking at the slot, someone our coach, I mean a lot of times in the Dutch league and also some of the clubs are with me are performing very well with it. Now the difference between Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp is just simple. Klopp always makes sure that the midfield now is being rescued by people or not by players who are more rigid and more robotic. But Arne Slot wants to find a flair in the midfield and also embody the side of Liverpool Football Club. Last season, the kind of formation, that's the kind of things are not Arne Slot you know. I believe most of the people can attest say it was a Jurgen Klopp template. And Arne Slot buyer or take key over and then he tried as much as possible to beef up the squad and then win the English Premiership during his first debut season for Liverpool. It is quite sure. But the only difference between Jurgen Klopp, Gengen Princeton of football, and then the high press system of football of Arne Slot is the midfield. Where midfield a more flexibility or dwell in more fluidity of the game and also make sure so be press it very hard in attacking front. Then Jurgen Klopp will face you in a man-to-man press and then will press you from all corners on the field of play. So checking the time now, checking the kind of people no major and midfield them at the side of Liverpool Football Club. You talk about the side of Jordan Henderson, James Milner, Wijnaldum, and a lot of players now will perform very well in the midfield. Now check Liverpool midfielders currently as we speak. You talk about Ryan Gravenberch, on yet that kind of rigid, on your robotic, or that kind of midfielder or more that flair or be controlling ball in part of the centric midfield. He will give you that fluidity of the game. It would control the tempo and would dictate the rhythmic patterns of the game. That is Ryan Gravenberch for you. Or check him McAllister, the same thing also the Bema. He goes just direct to the ball, make sure so when you're born now, he releases it on time to the attacking third. Dominic Szoboszlai also do that same thing. Ferran Vertonghen no was number 10. He just flair or a flexible. He also needs to adapt the game. But I will check out the time. Most of these attackers, no much know them at the side of Liverpool are a different thing altogether than the side of Arne Slot. And I think say currently as we speak, say with him matching up to a lot of players. Wato Higo Ekitike, Wato Jeremy Frimpong, Wato Amilos Kerkic, I mean, Wafa, Alexander, Ishak, Edna by the side of Liverpool. And currently, if we need to have Liverpool squad in depth and make sure that they will actually perform, Brian, being now bounded on the slot, how he would try as much as possible to integrate this kind of squad into the team currently, as we speak, because Papa, if you're trying to learn Arnold, if you hold Mukoye, Mohamed Salah is finding it very difficult to perform in attacking forwards. So, Oshe Mohamed Salah last season, most of the balls are now supplying the attacking third. Now it was the effort of Trent Alexander-Arnold that honestly Liverpool in the actual side of Real Madrid Football Club. The same thing in the left-hand side. Most of the games are not supported Obisakodi Kapu in the left-hand side last season. And as Luis Diaz last season, it was a certain Andy Robertson who was supporting Papa, your friend Luis Diaz, in the attacking side for the side of Liverpool. So it tells you, say, he's not getting what he is getting right now as we speak. And so Onyana sad time winner, it will be an slot tactical moment to change some of the defeating things up. Liverpool so to me and maintaining that same momentum for them to try as much as possible, so make keep the pace for the English Premiership. But Brian, more the next 4 games to play. They have Crystal Palace to play at home. Crystal Palace this season has been splendid. So check Aston Villa and Susu team this season. They have also been performing very well. And then in terms of Champions League, they have Real Madrid Football Club to perform at home. All no against Real Madrid Football Club. After Real Madrid, the ball Madrid game you need to play against Manchester City. So it will be a most defining moment for Arne Slot. The last 6 games Arne Slot the team are performing on with team just a win pair. And most of these instances now in from Liverpool. Now over the next 4 games, this is a difficult clash for Arne Slot. If he feels even one of these clashes between me Abba in the side of Liverpool, I think say Liverpool paying for the bit from one again for Arne Slot, because they cannot go in the season last season. They were regarded as one of the best clubs in the English Premiership this season. Most of us believe that Liverpool will come and add up their performance in the Premiership and also the Champions League. That's how money will win their course. So I don't think the side of Liverpool will try as much as possible to keep on the slot in the last 4 games a bit. But say you call into the Classico. Over the weekends, but now I say Semishenia may be course between Barcelona and Real Madrid Football Club. It will be over 2.5. But then Madrid will win. But I don't know the exact score. And it came to pass. Now, as Catcher say Jude Bellingham and then Vinicius Junior Ebeshe goes. I mean, before the game, they commence. But now I say Obwa. But I think after the game, we saw that kind of movement. It be him. So we'll check the tactical lineup. Xabi Alonso did real match. Me who happen to know Xabi Alonso wanted to tweak something for Real Madrid Football Club as compared to Barcelona starting lineup on the 2. Now the 4-3-3 shape no the 2. The Catcher say, when it comes to Xabi Alonso this season, he always tries as much as possible to find the 4-3-3 dynamo system in making sure Jude Bellingham will become the orchestra and then try as much as possible or being invented as an auxiliary striker supporting Kylian Mbappe at any moment. I'll be finding yourself in the fox. That's the penalty yard box and Jude Bellingham I find the rhythm to score a lot of goals in attacking third for Xabi Alonso. I mean the Real Madrid Football Club side. Now into the 4-3-3, Alvaro Carrera as airborne in the left full back, Dean Hoyson airborne as a left centre back, Militao as a right centre back, Federico Valverde as a right full back, then generated to become an inverted midfielder. Then Ocheke Omufifi, Camavinga, Tchouameni and Bellingham. Then Vinicius Junior, Kylian Mbappe and Arda Güler airborne in attacking moment for the Real Madrid Football Club. But Makacho say whenever you find Arda Güler playing in attacking moment for Real Madrid Football, it means that Xabi Alonso wants him to make an assist and score most of the goals. But if you see Arda Güler playing as a central midfielder, that means Xabi Alonso wants him to become a traditional number 8 and also support in controlling the tempo of the midfield for the side of Real Madrid Football Club. Now, so we'll check production man the first picture and ending come on. So we'll check most of the starting movement at the Real Madrid Football Club. Oh, who say Papa reference Hans Flick try as much as possible. Say Obebo the high line press system of football, but so say the free a chill horn. So the back displacement, Ebwa Emma Hans Flick, the tactical fluidity, Ebwa Emma possess ball from the midfield, also from the defensive structure into the midfield very, very well. So the side of Xabi Alonso wanted to make sure that he will invert another tactical system. This time around, not the third man run system, but then he wanted to invert the oriented man pressing system and Abuama Real Madrid Football Club. It me oppress the side of Barcelona show very, very, very well. Sinabia, whenever be a Barca bono, they will come in and then take the ball in terms of quick transition from the side of FC Barcelona. In terms of the man-oriented pressing system, Brian, you have the man-to-man pressing system, and then we have the distance marking system in Albania in this particular tactical football. So we share Kwayana Madrid Football Club. Efforts to oppress the side of FC Barcelona. Yanko first one. This was the exact moment of the distance marking tactical system. And another Madrid Football Club, AUSU, on-brain player ni bibli, but then Obe make sure a shot say na. On-brain ni bibli. But then Obe make sure say he would try to cover up the spaces. The Barcelona Football Club players wouldn't have that enough chance to transition the pass from the defensive structure into the midfield of that particular opposing halves. Now, see, I got the second picture now. There's it. Madrid airball the man-to-man oriented pressing system there. Okay. But in terms of midfield, now you're checking the number of players at Madrid Football Club, I find on myself in the midfield. Close to about 6 or 7 players in the midfield, and then the side of Real Madrid Football Club. Then you compare it to the side of FC Barcelona. Also, when you hear that kind of man-to-man pressing system, but then Real Madrid Football Club, I find myself in the numerical superiority, trying as much as possible. Says a Madrid folk, Barca quine. I'm a Barca team controlling the centric of midfielder. And control ball in the midfield, so they will give themselves that kind of chance to make sure say Madrid will compete, especially in the midfield, trying as much as possible. Say Eduardo Camavinga, Tchouameni, and then Abba Jude Bellingham will control the tempo in the midfield for Real Madrid Football Club, and then it worked perfectly for the side of Real Madrid Football Club. Adia Bakwa Zabi Alonso sounds and say now some Barcelona for a year in the highlight president of football now. Tries or make sure they wouldn't keep a lot of space. So Madrid, baby, I didn't come out. Madrid chance here or chance here in the left hand side of Omankasa house. Vinny Jr. You get Obise Kylian Mbappe as a false number 9. Ada Gule switch it from the right hand side into the left hand side, making sure say Omubetima overload the left flanks of Barcelona or Mankasa opposing house or just put them in the right full back position. But this time around, they need to find a lot of exploited spaces. The side of Barcelona bit major airway shot. So what check here? Ada Gule trying so Betima run into the deep, making sure say Unya Alvaro Carreras any the side of Vinicius Junior more occupy the left hand side of Madrid or Mancaso posting as well. They will try as much as possible. Say in that kind of right fullback position for FC Barcelona, Ome overload and Barca wouldn't try as much as possible to transition most of the offensive passes into that particular limiter and intimate what the side of FC Barcelona. Also, again, so we'll switch it the next picture. Then you talk up, then you understand what I'm trying to talk about. Now, this Real Madrid Football Club, Ada Gule. So, Okwe anymore, he tries to obey to me a lot of assists, obey create a lot of special moments in attacking third. This is a clear boy. I'm calling the next picture now. This is a clear boy. Ada Gule try as much as possible. Say after so who say hand line it might break here a lot of hollow spaces. Eda Bassett show no. He needed to find Kylian Mbappe and then make sure that Kylian Mbappe able to find it in the space between the two center backs of FC Barcelona, and then he would try to make sure so Obefofele in scoring that particular first goal for the side of Real Madrid Football Club. But then Real Madrid for fans who concede on my first game no, and that's on my first goal no. It was a total mistake from the defensive action of Real Madrid Football Club. Now this is the Dean Hoysen. You blame no. And no one say blame Ada Gule. But nipa me blame no. Dean Hoysen. Onya born at that crucial moment. And say production bit me nya picture na dia to so amamia enkameni be Japan. Now, so all the picture na to so you understand say Dean Hoysen when you ball, you need to get the ball from the defensive structure into the midfield action. Impossible on the phone question because at that time, checking the number of players are not more pressing Dean Hoysen. It wasn't that much. So you have that enable time to transition the pass from that particular back line into the midfield action of Real Madrid Football Club. But then he wanted to make a back pass to the side of Thibaut Courtois. Now, Thibaut Courtois in your ball, no check it. Obenya Obi to say Militao or no Airben or other Gule and Sosoba. Then you get Obi to say Federico Valverde or no that the far right full back position on the side of Real Madrid Football Club. Now, Thibaut Courtois in your ball, you the next picture. Thibaut Courtois in your ball, no. He needed to switch the ball, so pressure than so. Okay. I also the ball no Edam Militao. Militao in your ball, instead of so switch it, and who say obi te say Ada Gule in finfin wo betime de ball na ma no ono so afa ball na ma no e de ball na back to Thibaut Courtois BM. So when he gave the ball back to Thibaut Courtois needed to switch the ball from the 18-yard box into the right full back position or the command prepare for Federico Valverde. When on so nya ball, he needed to get the ball back to Thibaut Courtois. I hold on to the ball no. Emma prepare for say Ada Gule. Now Ada Gule nya ball no. For picture to check the number of players almost surrounding Ada Gule at that particular material moment in time. Baby on the ball nema Ada Gule no ochan who chabre bi enyi. So definitely best sleepy ball away for the FC Barcelona football players to get that particular goal from the side of Ada Gule. And Honum Namhune say it was a total blunder from Dean Huijsen. Dean Huijsen may blame from that particular early first goal after say Real Madrid football killing the map any that first goal. I will not be blaming say that particular goal it's me but for Barcelona equalizer. No, Dean Huijsen may blame because at that material moment there wasn't any other pressure. There was onunu ever born DC into the midfield. Send a born be a quick transition for Real Madrid Football Club. But in all other rounds, Xabi Alonso mounted a good tactical system for Real Madrid Football Club, and they were able to have their way through for Madrid, winning against FC Barcelona in breaking that record. In Hansi Flick, it's me winning here, and it will be 5 games.
Mami Musa, quick comment on this. Hansi Flick, the suspension now when not dug out no, in some way affected Barcelona now.
Affected Barcelona.
Or what dug out was still.
Instruction be give who say na assistant coach need instruction be free esroba and who says who go into the game coaches be 2 days to the game or prepare or team very well, so they know the strategy, they know how they can do things around and turn things around. So only that out to kind of stance anymore. He will just have an information on the second coach, and that's what I think Barcelona needed every strategy from the training grounds onto the field of play. And I don't think say the absence of Hansi Flick can not dug out or and influence Barcelona momentum about good quality football. We should credit Xabi Alonso because you'll be engineering deal with big games. But Enra game now from start to finish, he dominated every pattern and then he showed Hansi Flick say this time around he is that kind of elite coach. I was seeing there very, very, very well. Brian.
But I say big brother maestro and I'll tell you kind Sebama no nsema in real into tunese na basa yentom pete no bi amfa dia obene kama dia map I Fakye TV so ye Fakye Sports and the ma channel say 5:45 and you be sorry edumadi so be ka be 10 minutes ama 5:45 na ba wo akwanya so be free na do adwenche e dia ba be medumako akodi nkomo kakra ba nipa wani monyam eyose me ma me se wetima sire bibia dia tukwan but obi send dia untimi nsem fa tukwan and a judgment dental for Omadaroma. If you may something on better Krubia, Gani Nya Womi. This is why we are quadro. Well, 1% obesa wa brabo, and I said it and then was some pro. Who took crying out Kubabia, you know, didn't come out. And Sunday be more quaba, you don't unsecret by my show sent, near show I say. And a judgment for said I be, and let a mouse say, a mouse sent pro, my pampine emo. Young couldn't come away. Mpanyinfo saba so ba na majapa nti na wotwe mu ne di nkomo na mo kyerɛkyerɛ mu tuyefo na mo ya kwankyerɛ sɛ de be ya yɛse yɛbɛbɔ mo ban ne yɛse aya akɔno yɛse fita na pampan afie no opanyini bɔkɔ de
bɔkɔ menua di sɛ so ho
bɔkɔ sɛ dum bɔkɔ de
yanko pardon gentleman dental clinic bibia kos kama pa
de nyame ase sa yɛ obɛsima du edi anim yɛhwɛfo ne yɛ tiefo bibia ɛda wo tuyefo na yɛ mo yɛ ho ban ne nhwe yɛse yie sɛ de be yɛ kɔ ba bia yɛ nimu ase
sa Jadi kan ye betcha Ghana phone na obi bia ohwe programming awie de gentleman dental clinic ye kan say ye wo ho say ye beboa san say enipa pomuden eyade a in fact very serious say wo sika se den na wapomuden no ho techima ya na enigye kra into my life enye complete enti fa ye wo dentist eni ye nante na ye beboa na oseno so afanento mapa efra enti na ye ho ye called mandate ne say Ghana ni bia wo my way mu no Oseno yefano mako yebeye eseno ho adwuma na afeso so no this time round no ya enhance yen oral education no pa sanse ye pese omanfo so active dentistry na se ekwan a eseno fa so a eye na adwuma na de esese yeye ene nia ensese yeye na ye wukuma se Bantama Abepo Junction total filling station ho e ho na gentleman dental clinic yeye adwuma ye branches no so ya placing strategically nti Bomodia ne fa numbers no na me sorry ya frame me na yentwetwe nkomo ye be ma direction na Odiaba clinic ye adwuma from Monday to Saturday eye holidays nyina Gentleman Dental Clinic ye adwuma anopa 8 ni ya start ye adwuma oho sa popom anwumre 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Na bibia efa esihu bia no eno na Gentleman Dental Clinic oba ye examination and consultation service oho ye kan say brana yenhwe wonum no na ehu oral status because early detection ne boa esene de tie ne say yehu problem ne ntamo a ya na eno no boa because e kan cross an yeketua bi na afeso so no se wotena ho ama e kan no na say problem ye kese a na sika na obo ho no na eno so akwakoye kese enya no na Gentleman Dental Clinic ye hwehwe eniti na ye cheche o manfo kwan obefa so a obewra ne wonum no ye feeling na hodo no nyina bi say cavities entokro abededa esene mu na osese ye feeling eseno ye restore ne back your composite filling ho your amalgam filling your GI filling na ye sophisticated ceramic filling ye gold filling ni nyina oba ye beye na oseno abounce back na afane to mapa efra se eseno etu na ye hye eseno e de ama no oba Gentleman Dental Clinic ye beye ne kama ye different types yem pese obebo kanti ye the options no ebeto ho na ya kire wo de esese ohwe na eboa wo it is eseno bako mienu ana even 10 kro na etu a kai se akonya wo ho se obetumatua osika no enkakra your numbers oh yes your numbers is 055 913 95 82 and 0549 906 588 na enen ye pese ne omafo suade kakra bi efa gum disease on
okay
na ye ka gum disease ana say dodo na say gums no de oseno enam na edra ho no problem abam and say inflammation condition of the tissues surrounding eseno na on say eseno etuatua ne pocket mu ewo wapantan kasa ne nti ne socket no ewo ho na eseno etuatua mu na tissues no ye enam na edra oseno enum no ana say ohwe TV ne so wo say enam no eseno etuatua apantan kasa ne wo ne socket mu but tissues no ana gums no na ewo ase no nam kokko na ewo ho no na empe bebre no obo say obi ho a obrahye a ohu say blood ewo ne sinemu moja efiri ne sinemu eba na ya na empe bebre ni nipa fa no bibi say bibi kitua bi but very early sign serious ebo nka ye say wonya gingivitis eno no ye early signs of periodontitis.
Okay.
Na period no de aya na eho asem ka no edin kakra enti ogu ono ma obo so odi bread kra obo se ohu se blood ewo echi obo okra ampesi kra no di a oka bayre na ohu se moja bi edi echi na de ekan nyina ne se eye emoa na aba betena ogams ni mu it is all TV so obo se ya che picture no mu mienu the cross section of the tooth no into the left side no the normal tooth but over right side na periodontitis na on say eseno the fita na cover ho no enamel no ansa na the next layer na eno so eto aso no ye dentin no emo babia eho no aye red no top no anase eno na ekuta eseno but bo say eseni nchemu ho no bo say there's this gray color bi eda ho eno no kire say ifi bi aba be hwehwe eseni ntemo because ye didi wi bo say sticky foam bi tentan bi aba yenum obu okro kasa wo say that sticky foam no ewo nenum eniti with time no na ada eseno so na a compound eno na yehu no as plaque no enti plaque no ade a enuane a yedidi nti obu okasa wo say yellow bi ni green bi ehwehwe ntem no nti wo say eno na ehye ho brown no enti eba asa no wo say ama tissue na ebo enam no ho no anase plaques no ho no o say tissues no aye red eche say inflammation abam ahohono na moja ababe ginagina na ohu ne sa na eye deposit of bacteria emoa eti eba sapa na separate tissue no from eseno ideally no or say tissue no etumi etale eseno ho pe say de be ya emanate ye to say water resistance and I say waterproof it is say ye enuane a ye anono ya drinks a ye nom ni nsu a ye nom no ebi ntumi mfa ase because of tissue niti enko yesema say because bacteria ni nya kwan na okodidi eseno na chese watiasi operio no mu na okodidi dompe no anase bone na eseno etuetuam no socket no na wa start na odidi emu ho
asemaba
e ba ne sa no a e dey wo hwe screen no so a na wo hwe the top left no eye the normal teeth no enti etua jawbone no mu na tissues no edua ho kama but wo be hwe on the right side top right now wo say gums na aye kokko aye aswele na afi aye kokko aye reddish enti anytime bia no ene na manipa no brush e kanope na moja na start na ahonhono kakra na eba sa no a na enya kwan na ohwe down left na e je say we no akwakwa moderate nti so we tissues no separate ne ho afi esene ho e kire say emo na inflammation na e cause wo ho no nti no ama emo na timi edidi ama esene separate this time round emo na nya kwan edidi aba bone no anase wo se na e wo ase no it ebedru advanced stage na eye periodontitis no eno eye irreversible. There is nothing, there's no remedy, there's no medication. There be into Yanishman.
And a man, sir. It is a who sign wo say blood who moja o usimwa. A idea a very serious as I said, because apart from that, no a coso halitosis into tembiano na campaign tinipano or casabos a scent if in a num na eba. And a face so no obu honoma make us say wa change toothpaste, wa change mouthwash, wa change toothbrush, but still problem no e da so ho. The best thing is say obekwa ko dentist immediately you betuma a professional cleaning e dia ma and say ye scale ni yi plaques ne tata na e hihye esene ntam ho na aye deposit of bacteria no na ye yi ni nyina afi ho nti yi ni nyina afi ho wi a na afi ya polish esene so fine na afi ya ma medications na no tumi aboa na bacteria no egu afi gonum ho na oho ato enye sa ekodru periodontitis na dia eno na de tooth loss no eba no eti mo no didi because eseno esese etua ojawbone no ne socket ni mu te se de odi dadoa abo duamu na ebom dendenden no sa na esese ye because pressure wo eseso edidi anopa edidi awie edidi awie eti eba sa na obo say with time no na emo na didi mu nti no na aye loose bone marrow nti na afebo say esena start say eye mobile eti wo hobo say esene baako na etu na fe baako asan etu wani baba on so we say 4 5 na ni nyina etu for Judgment Dental Clinic ewo 055 913 95 82 055 913 95 82 and 0549 906 588 0549 906 588 na mamefa branches no entu dwa yo Kumase Bantama Abepo Junction Total Filling Station or Accra your branches too yo Wonungwa secondary school in China NDC party office no na direct opposite oko domekwa benya atomic down roundabout no so e ho de da so e wo ho afi oko Techiman your market magazine road no so yani AY Ahmed na direct opposite takrade e ye banchase yani Tadisco down e ho na Judgment Dental Clinic yo Koforidia yani Central Police Station no e na ebo ho pay udru Aflaodia aflan your main road now they call border no yani Eco Bank and the same building mu na mo tamale kai say Tushigu yani Central Post Office no e na afi ebo ho MTN office ni area ho ene ho se wo hu a free numbers na e display e wo screen so Kumase e ye Bantama Abepo Junction bibia efa ese ho bia no eno na ye ese na bu ese na pai ese na ahye kaka ni nyina e be ho adwuma e dia ma e da ma se pa meso meda se na judgment for the economic coding komo about yese akacho se japade untimi nsere emfantu kwan e yo se mo ofe o dressing te se de na wo senya wonu asepa na ye be die ho nemum de mete and it's excellency John Dramani Mahama a order se enmanu ye muntwa ma ne sika na ma wo Black Queens $9,500 bonus no mo de eye mai wana nunti almost WAFCON qualify against Egypt ochina omunye training akase omakobo game no ama yet TV say the sports minister Kofi Adams kra ko nra ekokeka nsem bia sabi unpalatable na the yete and it's excellence the president of Ghana our that with immediate say omo entue sika no famo mo ye die ho ye ba ye de aka nya beto aso e dia ma